Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics, and I have a quick update for you today about Fortuna Mining, as they had a nice piece of news out that falls on something that we've talked about over the past couple of years, but certainly in the past couple of months in particular with Fortuna, because they have delivered their preliminary economic assessment at their Diamba Sud gold project in Senegal, which came back with an after-tax internal rate of return of 72% and a net present value of 5% of $563 million using a $2,750 per ounce gold price. So would love to walk you through the highlights and give you an idea of what they came back here. We mentioned that they were planning to have this in the fourth quarter. And sure enough, here it is. And already mentioned the 2750 gold price and an after-tax net present value of $563 million. And during the first 3 years of production, Diamba Sud projected to deliver 147,000 ounces of gold at all-in sustaining cost of $904 per ounce. And just as a reminder, as I'm recording this, our gold price is $4,353. So obviously quite a bit of margin at today's gold prices. Never know exactly what gold will do in the future, but could be higher, could be lower. And either case, in this PEA, they have an AISC of 904. Capital construction costs, they're looking at $283 million. And one of the advantages that Fortuna has is, as we've talked about on the last earning calls, their liquidity is over $500 million at $537.3 million, and a net cash position of $214.8 million. And here, Jorge Ganoza, who you've likely seen several times on the show, mentions that the PEA highlights the strong value Diamba Sud brings to the portfolio. And with permitting and the definitive feasibility study underway, they are still online to make a construction decision in the first half of 2026. Additionally, they still have 5 drill rigs going and working on expanding open areas of mineralization so that they can upgrade the inferred mineral resources to measured and indicated by the year end. And Jorge believes that by the time they, especially if they have exploration success, they could extend the life of mine to beyond a decade. And also that they've also approved a $17 million budget to begin the early construction works. So quite a bit of good news there. And that's one of the things that, especially in the time that I've been covering Fortuna and they've been involved with the show, certainly have seen them consistently follow through on these plans, even at times when the market is critical and hammers the price. And then you find a few months later, that's the advantage of having a track record of following through on the things that you say you're going to do. So anyway, as we take a look further down here, we'll start with the exploration upside, where they have opportunities to further enhance the economic foundation through drilling. And since the cutoff for the PEA, they've drilled 125 holes totaling 15,794 meters, including the one drill hole of 22.7 grams per ton over 21.6 meters that came out in August of this year. And the exploration program for the rest of the year focused on infill drilling at Area A, D, Karkar, Mungundi, and Southern Arc, where they want to convert the inferred resources to indicated, step out and resource expansion drilling at the Southern Arc to increase the mineral resource, also testing prospective targets and continuing exploration at Fortuna's Bandala properties. And as I mentioned here, the PA outlines basically the plan of how this is going to work over the various deposits, which will feed a central gold processing facility with currently an 8.1-year life of mine. As I mentioned, they are continuing to do the exploration efforts so that they can continue to increase that. And also in the PEA, they mentioned that they're anticipating concurrent development of multiple deposits, although with no more than 3 pits mined at any one time. Initially, they're targeting 2.5 million tons per annum during the first 3 years of operation, which will then transition to a rate of 2 million tons per year. And they mentioned also that they're looking at conventional open pit. They've also outlined the plan for the tailings, water, and power. And the tailings designed to accommodate 7.8 million tons of tailings, water storage dam serving as the main storage facility for clean, raw, and processed water, with raw water going to be coming from a pipeline from the Falame River. And the power plant at Diamba Sud is going to be an on-site fuel oil power plant. In terms of the cost structure, they're looking at $283.2 million, including $4 million in capital closure costs and $46.4 million in contingency. Sustaining capital estimated at $40 million, and infrastructure sustaining capital along with $8 million in closure costs over the currently 8.1 year life of mine. And they anticipate 2.3 million tons of waste and 90 kilotons of potentially mineralized material will be mined. And the operating costs are anticipated at $51.16, which backs out to $1,081 per ounce of gold sold. And again, as I mentioned, using a base gold price of $2,750 and an after-tax NPV at a 5% discount rate of $563 million, the IRR comes out to 72% with a payback period of approximately 10 months. And as I mentioned about a week ago on the show, they have filed their environmental and social impact assessment. So that was a big step that moves things forward. And also they have that $17 million budget that has already been approved for early work planning and permitting, along with the early construction work and the definitive feasibility study expected to be completed near the end of the second quarter, with a construction decision anticipated shortly thereafter. And if that does come back with a decision to go forward, they could begin construction in the fourth quarter of 2026, with first gold pour targeted for the second quarter of 2028. And lastly here, just a note that a technical report is being prepared within 45 days, and you can find that on Cedar. So anyway, great to see the progress continue at Diamba Sud as the preliminary economic assessment has been filed. So we'll be having Jorge back on the show soon. And in case you missed our last call with him, well, that one is coming your way now.